Welcome back, everybody. We're so glad you joined us today. Trisha Click, Creative Financial Network, here with Dustin Bezalel, the man of the hour. And today we're going to jump right in and talk about healthy habits. I think any of us that know Dustin on a personal level know that he is the king of healthy habits. And so we're going to get into it. We're going to talk all about it today. So let's start first, Dustin, with health. Just walk us through your routine. I know we all had the pleasure of seeing you do it on Friday. Right. Just for our viewers here, tell us a little bit about your healthy habits.
So I believe, like I've said in the past, is you got to, it's mind, body, soul, right? So mind, body, soul. And one of the things that I've always done pretty much since I'm like 14 years old is I remember working in restaurants, bussing tables and making pizzas or whatever. And whether I did it before or after working, I always worked out, right? I always worked out. And today, like my minimum expectation every single week is to exercise a minimum of 3 days in a week, which is not a lot. But my target is 5, right? So I'll do 3 days of weights, abs, and some sort of cardio. 4th day, I'll do an hour of yoga. And then the 5th day, I'll do an hour of cycling. And all of this is done from my house. But that is the regimen of what I do. And I'd pretty much have to be hospitalized to not get a minimum of 3 days in the week.
And I know you even have it detailed, like what days you do what. Do you keep track of like water and hydrate, like how many cups of water you drink in a day, or no?
Yeah, no, I don't keep track of the water consumption, but I happen to have this here, and I literally, you guys could see this. I mean, it's like went through a war, but I'll drink pretty much like maybe 2 of these a day. Wow. Protein shake, and then I get cold pressed juice from a local guy. So I don't track the amount of water or anything like that. I don't, as far as food is concerned. I don't know if you want me to answer that, but what we do, my wife and I do, is every Sunday we were doing buying meals. Yeah. We were having them delivered on Sunday. We'd get 10 of them. We'd eat them for lunch. We'd eat them for dinner because we're crazy with the kids and working 60 hours a week here. And then with the kids, with the baseball, the basketball, the soccer, there's no time. So we'd have the meals delivered. She got sick of them. And she's like, I can't eat this stuff anymore. So what we started doing was going every Sunday and getting the already made hot Publix rotisserie chicken, lemon pepper chicken. Get 3 of those. Get like 2 bags of brown and wild rice, and then get fresh vegetables, whether it be snow peas or sugar snap peas, whatever they call them, broccoli, broccolini, carrots, whatever, and make about 14 meals for the week. So we know that we're eating clean, we're eating healthy, and from at least a Monday to a Friday when we're on ice skates and going a mile a minute, that's what we eat at least for lunch and dinner. And my kids even enjoy it too. They're like, Daddy, can we have the chicken? And that's what we eat. So
yeah, I've heard some amazing things about the dressing you put on it.
Yeah, just Ken's Italian
really?
dressing. I'll put like hot sauce or dressing, but they like
everybody this in the office talks about it. So I'm gonna have to try some. So what about sleep? Do you I know this is probably because Dustin works a little bit, so that's probably maybe you can touch on what is your sleep routine. Or I know you're a 5 a.m.er, right?
Yeah, my alarm goes off at 5:10 Monday to Friday. I probably get 5-6 hours of sleep a night, which is not ideal. But 5:10 clock goes off, and then I do my routine in my garage. I have equipment in my garage, and shower up, and kids ready. Everybody gets breakfast. My wife has to have it's like her old lady breakfast. So I just make her and I scrambled eggs, and she has a cinnamon raisin muffin with iced coffee. And if she doesn't have that in the morning, it's like game over. So that's her old lady meal. But then make the kids breakfast, and then by 7:20, I'm on the road literally like Like, so as answer the question is the sleep routine or lack thereof is that's what it is.
So if we had to give you advice on steps to a healthier you in 2024, it's going to be sleep.
Yeah.
But what would you tell our viewers if they wanted to pick three things maybe to, because you've gone over a lot of healthy habits for your health. What are three things that you would recommend a beginner who maybe doesn't have a routine in the health space? What are three things you would recommend they start?
So like I said in the beginning, it's mind, body, soul, and I don't believe in trying to do things. If somebody tries to do anything, trying, you already made the decision to not do it. So I believe in anything, it's either I do or I don't do. And if I choose not to do, that's fine. I'm just not going to do it. If I try to do it, I'm going to fail most likely because it's not with 110%. It's make it a reasonable habit. It's got to come, as part of life. Have found that on days, which there are days, like I said,
Right.
it's 3 to 5 days a week that I work out, so it's not every day, but on days that I do exercise, I mentally feel a lot better.
Right.
I know when I eat those meals, at least Monday to Friday, I'm not eating garbage. We don't eat fast food, not something we do. We don't drink calories, meaning we don't drink sugar drinks. But on Friday night or Saturday or Sunday, yeah, we'll meal cheat and indulge and have. So to me, it's make the decision of I must be physically where I want to be. It sets mentally me up for a certain way. What I put in my body, it also does something to me. And then the other thing, Trish, that I have, and this is really more recent, that I've really started to do is religiously read. I don't read the actual books most of the time. I listen to Audible when I'm driving into the office. But this week alone, I read one whole book. And I listened to it. Natasha gave me the idea to listen to it on 1.25 or 1.5 times the speed. So I read one whole book this week.
Yeah.
And already had started another one that I'm pretty much a quarter of the way through.
Right.
And that's it just sets a tonality. So to me, the three things is make the decision to physically be where you want to be.
Right.
Eat the certain way at least 5 days of the week, and then mentally,
put something in place.
So
it's a great step to the next question, which we're talking health, mind, and financial habits, healthy habits of your health, of your mind, and of your finances. So let's move into the mind and walk us through it. Walk us through what is your healthy mindset practice. What do you do on a daily to really keep you in focus?
Yeah. So again, it's exercising 3 to 5 times a week. It's eating those meals that we prep, which when we put it together don't cost a lot of money. So anybody on a budget, they can do that. And when I put the numbers together, which I track everything, the cost on that food is like $65, and it's like 14 healthy meals that are there. Sometimes it's even more. And it just sets the tone. But at the end of the week, what I do every Sunday is I do a review of my prior week. So call it a review of financials, a review of fitness, and a review of my mind. And I literally have nothing crazy or sexy on an Excel spreadsheet. I know from a business perspective, what were my goals? Mm-hmm. Did I achieve my goals based on my output? And it's all quantifiable and measurable.
Right.
I also look at what amount of workouts did I do? Did I do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7? I note it. I review what books did I read. I note it. And then I literally review all of my finances. And on Sundays, that happens religiously. I'll pay my bills that day as well. So I've got a 2.5 hour window on Sunday that I've got to go do the food shop, go do the meal prep, and then just as important is a review of what did I do or what didn't I do, so that I don't have to be reactive, when I get into 2025 or a new year and say, oh my gosh, I didn't hit my physical goals, my financial goals,
Right.
my mental goals, I'm ahead of it. I'm being proactive in it. And the other thing that I do each morning is I give thanks, right? I give thanks to the person upstairs for what I have, what we have, the blessings that we have as a family personally, the blessings that we have as a business.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask for, the ability to achieve different things, and people that are, going through some things personally that are around me, I ask for them to be healed. And sometimes it works. And I believe if you put those types of emotions and motions out there to the world, things change.
Yeah.
For the positive.
Talk about gratitude. Do you have a gratitude practice? I know you've spoken about it before. I know it's something similar to what I do. So I'm curious. Tell our listeners a little bit about what you do in way of a mindset gratitude, intentional gratitude practice.
Yeah. So just as I said a minute ago, I give thanks every single day for what we have, what I have personally and professionally, and ask for things that I'd like to achieve, whether it be personally or professionally. I always make sure that I stay humble, and I'm humble. And if I see um, a janitor or somebody that whatever they're doing, they may not be feeling a person of worth, which they should, but I go out of my way to say, hey, sir, hey, ma'am, how are you? And just
Right.
look at them and treat them as a human. The other thing is that I'll do on occasion, which is no recipe for it, but I'll see, I've seen somebody in a military outfit at a local pizzeria when I was with my kids, and the guy was with his wife and kids in an army outfit. And the guy went to go pay, and I literally, pay for his meal. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, no, sir, I appreciate you and what you have done for the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's the least I could do. Somebody, getting a sandwich from a local sandwich shop is in a firefighter outfit, right? The fire truck is parked out there. I pick up his sandwich there. A lady, I was going to the supermarket I remember one 4th of July, I was buying these little packages for my kids, the fireworks, and there was only 3 of those particular ones left. And she's like, oh, the cashier said my kids would love that. And I said, here, I bought them and I gave them to her. So I had to go find another store to get my kids fireworks, which was fine. And she's like, no. I'm like, please, it's yours.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are the little things, that I
make a big deal
can do, that I believe if that we each do little kind gestures like that,
yeah,
it comes back to all of us in a very big way. And with all the bad media and the bad news and the bad press, that is always amplified, because psychologically that's what people are attracted to. Right. It reminds people that there is great in the world. There's great people. So.
Right. It's important, I think, too, not just because of the impact it makes on the people around you, but also because of the impact it makes on you. Right. I mean,
what's your way of gratitude? I never knew this.
I have a gratitude practice every morning when I wake up. I also, I pray and meditate and those things as well. But I also write a list. I write 5 things that I'm grateful for that I have, know, and love. And then I write 5 things that I'm grateful for that I don't yet have, know, or love. And 1 is to give gratitude to what's in my current space. And 2 is to keep myself focused on what's to come and what I'm striving for in a grateful way. So, very cool. So thanks for sharing that. Talk us through your financial, I know you touched on it a little bit, your Sunday practice. So talk to us about your financial success, how you, not the tracking part yet, we'll get to that, but what your Sunday looks like, and then how you establish that routine, and maybe why you make some of the decisions that you do within your own financial personal life.
So how do I track it?
Not yet. Just your Sunday sitting and paying the bills.
Yeah. So I literally just have a stack of bills or whatever, whether it's personal bills or properties or stuff like that. I just have a stack of stuff that I, instead of every single day taking time out of my day to pause and then pay. I got one time a week I just roll through all of it. So it's just the one time centralized that I just rock and roll through it all. But then I go through my own personal finances. That could be savings account, that could be investment account, that could be retirement account, that could be properties, and I'm very meticulous in making sure that it's up to date, because I know what gets measured gets done, and I'm crazy when it gets to that.
Right. So for someone that is looking to put in some type of routine or steps, what do you think is the most impactful between your healthy health habits, your healthy mindset habits, and
Right.
your healthy financial habits? What do you think has been the most impactful to your success as an entrepreneur?
I think it's all of it. It's not.
Motivation.
It's really not one. It's, as I said, it's not trying to do something, because if I try to do it, it isn't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to feel a certain way to show up a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, everyone, not most, everybody wants a result, right? They want to be financially free, and they want to get to the Holy Land financially, or they want to be physically fit. In order for those things to happen, you've got to have the right behaviors, right? They've got to exercise or eat in a certain way, or in business, especially owning your own business, you've got to have different habits and activities to then lead up to the success. But in order to have those behaviors, you got to have the right attitude. And the attitude is what's going to drive the behavior, and it's then going to drive the result. It's not the opposite. And it's really, really difficult, whether it's in the sports world, which I'm not a major league athlete by any stretch, because I'm 5'8" on a good day. But you can't say that, I want to win the Lombardi Trophy, or I want to win the World Series, but you show up with a bad attitude. You're not willing to put in the work. So to me, it's a tripod, or whatever pod you want to call it, that if I put in the right stuff in my body, I physically show up, and then on a professional sense, I demand certain things of myself, the rest will win or happen.
I've heard it said that most people want to be a part of the success, but not a part of the process.
Right.
And it's in the process that you learn who deserves and has earned the success.
Yeah. So it is not, you can't get to the result without the process.
Right.
It is the process.
Right. And all those things are important to it. So talk us through the tracking. I know you are a tracking fanatic. Tracking fanatic. Tell us all the things you track, why you have come to do that, and why that you've said this motto several times throughout our conversations, is that you perfect what you inspect, or
right.
you said it earlier in a different way, but tell us about the tracking.
So tracking in a business sense is, if I want to get to a certain financial place, I'll reverse engineer how to get there. So if I want to get to a certain level of income on a yearly basis, I've got to do certain habits, right? In our financial business, is if somebody wants to make $100,000, then they've got to know, what products, life, disability, long-term care, or annuities is going to be marketed and sold to get to that number. Same way, if I own a pizzeria, it's how many pizzas and or strombolis or salads need to be sold to get to that place. So I reverse engineer it, and then it's going to look at, same in a pizzeria, is how much does the average person spend when they come in to buy pizzas. Here we have the same thing, and it all ultimately will boil down to how many scheduled meetings have to happen each week. That will, let's say it's 10, then that person or that individual will see 6, and they'll close 2 deals. And if that happens, they're going to typically make about $150,000 to $175,000 of income. But what they've got to do to book a meeting, even if somebody doesn't have a natural market, like we spoke about in the last podcast that we did, was you've got to have is managing the numbers, right? It's 10 contacts will equal 1 appointment. So if every single person does have 20 conversations per day, Monday to Friday, 100 for the week, they'll schedule the 10, they'll see 6, they'll close 2. That data that I collect, it takes me literally to review my week, takes me 15 minutes. It sounds like a lot, it's really not. And I just keep the track of it every single day. And on Sundays, I do the review of the business week. Same thing, right? So same thing as far as the workouts are concerned. Last week I only did 3. I was kind of like fighting a little bit of a cold, and we had obviously our kickoff meeting and then another presentation. It was just a lot, but my minimum expectation was 3. So I know what did I put in, what didn't I put out, and then obviously the food. It's the food. It's if you put that Sunday thing prep in place,
Right.
it's almost next to impossible to fail.
Right. Well, it's certainly something I picked up from you and have incorporated, not in as many aspects as Dustin has, but it's good stuff. So tell us, as we come to an end here of our next or our third or fourth, I don't know how many we've done, our podcast, not podcast, define success for us both in every one of these aspects, in your health, in your mind, in your finance, as an entrepreneur. Define success for us.
So my success is when I do the fitness routine that I need each week, it's winning each day and each week. It's not, did I get to that? I learned through opening and running our business is it's not about the destination. It's managing and going through the motions, or really the journey. Mm-hmm. Success for me is if I put in the fitness effort, if I eat those right things and don't eat certain things, and if I manage my habits from a professional sense of doing the 20 conversations per day and booking the 2 meetings, then I got there. But it's also, for me, it's how many people am I impacting and surrounding. As I said, in the past, is I expect myself to get here, and I don't want to get there alone. I want to get here with other people, and if that means I get here with other people, then fine. But I want other people to also feel, as a lot of it is feeling, that they are successful in their personal life, they're successful in their professional life, and they can look themselves in the mirror saying, I'm worthy, and I've gotten to where I expect myself to be. And so many times in what we're doing and what I'm doing is working with people, and what's cool is not only impacting them professionally and getting them to levels that they didn't even think that they were capable of, but also impacting them personally. And I have a belief or a saying that every plant needs watering. So those plants could be our personal plants, right? The personal plant could be a spouse, significant other, marriage, whatever, which marriage and spouse is the same thing. It could be another plant is your professional plant, right? You've got to water all of those plants. It's also the personal plant is with relationships with kids. My kids don't want my presence, they want my presence, right? And they don't want the things, they want Dustin, they want me, right? So it's being there and being present when I should be present, and watering the plants of my personal life, watering the plants of my professional life. And this one, I'm not yet there, but making sure that I'm also taking care of myself, which I do from a fitness standpoint, from a mind standpoint. But if it's right now, if I have to look and say, okay, how can I be different and what can I do better? It's carving out some Dustin time, some just me time. So.
Right. So 2024, you're going to get more sleep.
Yeah.
And you're gonna focus on yourself. You're gonna do some self-care. I'll write you a check when I see that happen. No. Well, those are all the questions that I had on my list today to get into the thick of it with you, as far as your tracking and your healthy mind, your healthy health, and your healthy finances. I hope you guys were able to grab something out of what he said to put into practice in 2024. And turn your health, your mind, or your finances around in a positive way. We're so glad that you joined us today. Hit that subscribe button. And if I didn't ask a question that you want to know about Dustin, just hit it in the comment section, right? Or better yet, if you've got a better tracking system or a better practice in one of these areas that you want us to know about, leave us a comment and let us know. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much.
Thanks.